You were never born disconnected from the earth. You were trained into it. You were trained by noise, screens, stress, always being available. Trained to live so much in your mind that your body became background noise. And now, most people can walk into the forest, a living, breathing, intelligent system, and feel almost nothing. Not because nothing is there, because their body is too loud to perceive it. The earth didn't go silent. The body forgot how to listen. And this is where it gets uncomfortable. Because what if the first sign was never a footprint? What if the first sign was the air changing, the sound dropping, your breath shifting, the body stopping before your mind even understood why? Because there is a moment in the forest that proves this. The environment changes and your body notices. And only after that does your mind start trying to explain it. The moment is connected to Sasquatch, forest intelligence, and the unseen, but not in the way most people think. Because the first sign is not always outside of you. Sometimes the first sign is what changes inside you. Now, most people think they need to go deeper into the woods to experience something. Further down the trails, more remote places, better cameras, more evidence. But after years of being in the wild places, I started noticing something different. The people who feel the most in nature are not always the ones searching the hardest. They are the ones whose bodies are actually quiet enough to notice the shift. And there is a pattern that shows up again and again. First, the forest feels normal. You are walking, thinking, scanning, maybe looking for tracks, tree breaks, structures, or any kind of sound or signs. Then something changes. The birds stop. The air feels dense, heavier. Your breath changes. Your skin notices before your mind has a story. Your body pauses, not because you decided to, because something in you knows the atmosphere is no longer the same. One person calls that imagination. Another person can call that instinct. Another person might always know exactly what I'm talking about. And that difference matters because some people walk through the forest and only see trees. Some people can walk through the forest and feel watched. Some people walk through the forest and know the whole atmosphere just responded. And that does not happen through force, and it does not happen by trying harder and pushing. It happens when the body becomes quiet enough to receive what was already there. This is the pattern most people will miss. Modern life floods the body with so much stimulation that subtle information gets filtered out just so you can function. Constant input, constant pressure, constant performance, constant noise. So that your body adapts. It stops noticing the small things, the way your breath changes when you enter certain places, the way your instincts sharpen around certain people, the way your body contracts before your mind has a reason, the way the forest can suddenly feel still, aware, or changed. And over time, the living world starts feeling flat. Not because it became flat, because your perception got buried under noise. This is why two people can stand in the exact same forest and have completely different experiences. Same tree, same trail, same air. One person feels nothing or sees nothing, and one person feels peaceful and can hear. One person feels the whole atmosphere shift. It's the same forest, different bodies, different signal, different level of perception. So many people have a different level of perception. This is where we have to have compassion too, as well. This is why I do not believe reconnection with nature is just about spending more time outside. That can help, yeah, but it's not enough. You can be physically in nature and still be completely disconnected from it. And most people don't understand that. You can walk through the forest with your body braced, your mind racing, your phone nearby. Your attention is just scattered, and still miss the entire intelligence of the place. The forest was not empty. You were just too loud inside to feel it. Many don't understand what that even means. And this is what I like to help people acknowledge within themselves so they can have better, more up-leveled experiences and interactions. This is where my work started to change. I stopped treating herbs, nourishment, mushrooms, minerals, and the traditional practices like wellness trends. I started seeing them as a part of perception training, and I've been doing this for 10 plus years with the nourishment and the minerals and stuff, way before Sasquatch came into my life physically. So not because they magically fix your life, not because they replace discernment, grounding, or the real world practice. It's because the body cannot perceive subtle intelligence when it's overloaded, depleted, and constantly bracing. A shut down body cannot read a living environment clearly. A scattered body misses the signals. A braced body turns mystery into threat. And how many people are stuck in the, oh my goodness, it's always a bear type of threat, right? Or something's watching, it's a predator, when people that are more connected can feel the difference. So a disconnected body walks past what a regulated body can feel. That is the part most people do not understand. So when the body is supported, when it is nourished, when the breath can settle, when your mind stops trying to dominate every experience, something changes. Your awareness comes back into the body.
Completely different forest.
Your senses sharpen. Your instincts, well, guess what? They become clearer. Your relationship with the natural world starts to feel less mental and more direct. And this is where everything changed for me and my family and my clients, because my connection with the forest did not deepen because I chased experiences. It deepened when I became more available to perceive them. It was through nourishment, through slowing down, through time in wild places, but also through learning how my body responded when the forest changed. I stopped only looking for what showed up after the shift. I started to pay attention to the shift itself, the silence, the pressure, the way the body was responding, the moment the forest stopped feeling neutral. And this is when I started realizing you cannot connect with a living earth through a disconnected body. And most people are trying to do exactly that. They want signs. They want contact. They want guidance. They want their own system, or they want proof, okay? But their own system is too overwhelmed to notice the first layer of communication, the subtle layer, the quiet layer, the layer that shows up before anything dramatic can happen. This is where my understanding of Sasquatch encounters changed. I stopped looking only for what appeared physically. The footprint, structure, sound, movement in the trees. I started tracking what happened before anything visible would show up. And this is where you can then hear them actually using telepathy. So it's the sudden silence, the pressure in the air, the feeling of being watched. The sense that something unseen is aware of you before you are aware of it. The moment the forest stops behaving like background and starts feeling like a field of intelligence. People have described this for generations. Hunters, hikers, campers, etc. The pattern is often the same. First, the environment changes, then the body reacts, then the person starts searching for evidence. But what if the first sign was not the evidence? What if the first sign was the shift? What if the forest has been responding to us the entire time, and most people are just too disconnected from their own body to even notice? What if the first sign was never a footprint? What if the first sign is actually your breath changing, your body stilling, your senses widening, your awareness sharpening, your mind suddenly going quiet? That is the moment most people will override. They explain it away, they rush past it, they grab their phone, they start looking for something physical. I want evidence. I see that show up in the comments. Where's the proof? Where's the bones? And that, the signal will collapse. Because subtle relationships do not build through domination. It builds through presence, through coherence. It will build through learning how to stay open when the environment starts responding. And this is why some people experience more in the forest than others. Not because they are special, because they are available. Their body is listening. Their attention is not scattered in 10 directions. The system is not fighting the moment. They are not treating the forest like dead background. They are entering relationship with it. This is the transformation most people are actually craving. It's not feeling better, feeling calmer, or going outside more. It's actually becoming alive enough again to feel the living world. Because there is a version of you that remembers this. A version of you that does not need to be convinced nature is intelligent. A version of you that feels it before your mind interprets. A version of you that walks into the forest and notices the change in the air, the stillness, the pressure, the invitation, the boundary, the signal. The version of you is not gone. We can reconnect back to that. It is buried under the noise. And when enough noise is removed, oh my goodness, the body starts coming back online. When your system is no longer bracing against everything, the world does not feel the same. The forest feels different. Food feels different. The plants feel different. Hey, guess what? Your intuition feels different. It's clear. You can hear it. Your own body feels less like something you drag through life and more like an instrument of perception. That is the piece modern life trained people out of. It trained people to think connection happens in the mind. But the earth is not asking for you to think harder. The forest is not asking you to perform spiritually. Nature is not asking for you to prove anything. It is asking whether you are present enough to notice. Because the signal is already there. The question is whether your body is quiet enough to receive it. This is the work I've taught. I teach people how to reconnect with their body so they can perceive the living intelligence of the forest and earth again. It's not an idea. It's not a trend. It's not another wellness identity. As a real relationship with the body, the forest, and the unseen intelligence, moving through the natural world, because you cannot bypass the body and expect to feel the earth. You cannot stay overstimulated, depleted, scattered, and disconnected, and then wonder why nature feels silent. The earth never stopped speaking. The forests never became empty, and the intelligence did not disappear. Your body forgot how to listen, and now the work is remembering. And this is even what Sasquatch teaches you guys. If this made something in your body say, I know exactly what she means, start there. I've created free guides for people who know they are meant to feel more than they currently do. It can help you begin to feel reconnected with the body, your sensitivity, your intelligence of nature, through nourishment, herbs, grounding practices, and forest connection. Because the first sign is not always outside of you. Sometimes, and most times, it begins when your body finally gets quiet enough to notice. The guide is below if you want to look at that. And if this kind of work you are here for, the body, earth, forest intelligence, Sasquatch, sensitivity, deeper connection to the relationship between all of it, subscribe, because this is where we're going next.